It's been said many times that history was shaped in the British public house, and with some 3,600, Yorkshire probably has more historic inns than any other county in Britain. Even the local post office advertises for the breweries. Parts of the structure of the Bingley Arms at Bardsey date back to 953 AD. Still with a medieval hall, it's reputed to be one of the oldest surviving inns in Britain. Even as far back as 1066, King Harold was having import problems. Not only had he the Normans to worry about in the south, but King Hardrada's Vikings were holding the original wooden bridge at Stamford Bridge. One huge Viking killed 50 men before he himself was killed by a soldier sent downstream in a swill tub. The Viking is commemorated by this pub, the Swordsman, which stands at the bridge. The village of Haworth was made famous by the Bronte family. While the sisters were following their literary path, Patrick Branwell, their brother, was to be found following the path to the Black Bull every day. It's said that Barwick Maypole has its origin in medieval times. A symbol used in mystic fertility rites, the local lads and wenches would dance around this erection, then finish up at the Mucky Duck opposite for a beer and a gin and lemon before ye medieval romp, another name for Roman-type orgy. We're reliably informed that the items at the top are not symbolic pawnbrokers' signs. This obelisk on the site of the Battle of Marston Moor attracts many visitors, but a few hundred yards away is the Sun Inn. In the car park stands a little publicised building. Dating back to pre-Jacobean times, it contains the room where General Oliver Cromwell planned his decisive battle against the Royalists. It does still have a certain air about it, particularly in warm weather. The village of Ludden Foot was the scene of many battles. Built in 1634, this pub was known to be the meeting place where Nelson and Lady Hamilton spent many quiet weekends.
A likely story. Take that and that.
The old pack-horse route over the Pennines from Halifax to Nelson was in use in the 15th century. Midway along its length is the Pack-Horse Inn. This was the halfway point for the special convoys from Pontefract to Nelson. Many details are still covered by the Official Secrets Act, but it's known that by the middle of 1941, with the war at its height, Britain's ultimate secret weapon was devised, and this route became the most heavily guarded in Britain. Convoys carried huge containers of a special mixture of rhubarb and licorice from the growers in Pontefract. It was packed into specially designed Cenopod missiles at a munitions factory in Nelson. The bombs were used to put the wind up the Nazis, and did in fact keep the planners of the German High Command otherwise engaged for days at a time, delaying the invasion of Britain. This was later to be known in secret documents as the Nelson Touch. And so the British pub has played its part in the defence of this country, keeping it free for our children and our children's children to sustain Britain's image abroad. British beer is best.